Players love progress, a percentage bar filling up, a badge unlocking. It's these tiny moments of recognition that keep players coming back even after completing your game. Hiro's achievement system gives you everything that you need to design, track, and reward players for hitting milestones. In this video, you'll learn how Hiro handles achievements, and then see it in action with one of our free-to-download sample projects. At its core, achievements lets you recognize and reward players for reaching milestones, whether that's killing a certain number of enemies or progressing in a battle pass. But Hiro Achievements handles a lot more than just that, such as chaining achievement preconditions so that players must unlock earlier goals before later ones, just like in a battle pass. Progress tracking that persists across sessions, scheduling resets and configuring limited time events, and granting rewards automatically or letting players claim them manually later. Hiro handles all of it, so instead of stitching together separate features, you get one flexible system that keeps players engaged and coming back for more. Building an achievement system sounds simple at first. A list of conditions, progress tracking, and claiming logic. But the hidden challenges start piling up fast. How do you stop players from artificially inflating progress through client-side manipulation? Or handle queuing progress while a player's offline and then reconciling them correctly on reconnect, plus hundreds of other scenarios you won't anticipate until you run into them. And that's just version 1. Adding an achievement system to your game isn't just about asking, how long does it take to build this? It's also, how difficult is it to maintain? How risky is each change? And how stressful is it for your development and live ops team? I think it's safe to say that most developers would rather spend their time making the game rather than worrying about all of these edge cases. Hiro was created as an answer to these questions. Hiro is a plugin for Nakama that handles all of the metagame systems that studios need to run their live service games. We're talking things like economies and in-app purchases, teams with shared progression, achievements, inventories, event leaderboards, and more. With Hiro, you're saving yourself the time and hassle of developing and maintaining these features by using trusted, scalable, and battle-tested backend tools. To help showcase an achievement system and many other Hiro and Nakama systems, we've been creating a bunch of sample projects that are now available over on our GitHub and on our Unity Asset Store page. The links are down below. If you want to follow along with this project, go ahead and clone the repo or download it as a zip, and then head over to the Unity Hub. Once the hub's open, you'll see here that we used Unity 6.2 to create these projects. Then we can go over to the Projects tab, go up to Add Project from Disk, and select the Unity Hiro Achievement Sample Project. And then we can open that up inside of the Unity editor. So once the project opens for the first time, you might need to enter the Scenes folder and open up the main scene. So then you'll see what's on the screen right now. Then all we have to do is go up to the game view, maximize, and then hit play. So this project and all of our other sample projects are connected to a live server running on Heroic Cloud. And as you can see here, I've already got some achievements with progress and completion from what I tested earlier, but we can use the account switcher tool that we've created so that we can easily test a fresh account. So I'm going to go up to Tools, Nakama, Account Switcher, and select Account 2. And now you see in the background, all of the achievements have been cleared. So achievements can be used for a wide variety of use cases. As you see here, if we select the Clear the Goblin Camp achievement, it says here that it has a progress bar that fills up to 25, and we can go ahead and hit the Add Progress button to type in how much we want to progress it by. Let's say 10, and update progress. You see the bar updates, the progress updates over here, and we can go ahead and do some other quests, and we can go back and the progress is stored, and this is stored between sessions for you by Nakama. If we were to add another 15 progress to this achievement, you'll see here that the achievement is now claimable and complete. We can then hit claim to gain some coins, gems, and some potions. Now, whilst we have these tabs up here called daily, quests, and achievements, these are still all achievements under the hood. They're just different implementations. So what I've shown you here is quite standard. Now, if we were to go over to daily, you'll see here that these ones actually reset. Now, we've got it set up here to reset every minute for the sampler project. So if I was to go ahead and add some progress here, complete this achievement, and claim it, we can come back in 30 seconds and it will be reset. But let's go over in the meantime back to quests. Now you'll see here, upon completing the Goblin Camp achievement, we then unlocked the Defend the Village achievement. And if we go down to the bottom, we have this other achievement here called the Lost Artifact, and this has a prerequisite. This requires the other achievement, Defend the Village, to be completed. So right now we can't even progress it. But if I was to go and finish Defend the Village, claim the reward, and then come back down, you'll see here now it's in progress and we can actually add progress to it. So far I've shown you regular achievements and achievements that have a chain of preconditions. If we were to go back now to the daily quests, you'll see here that they've reset. So this is another implementation that allows you to implement repeatable quests, either daily, hourly, weekly, however often you wish. And if we were to head over to the achievements tab on the right, the unique thing here that we've set up is sub-achievements. So here we have Combat Veteran, which has 5 objectives, and you see here on the right, you can view those 5 objectives. They are all their own sub-achievements, so they have their own individual progress, individual rewards, and different amounts required to complete them. So Lich Hunter over here only needs 1 progress, then it's complete. And by progressing it, you see here that the overall Combat Veteran achievement has been progressed 1 out of 5. And as well as the individual sub-achievements having these rewards of coins, the overall achievement has some bigger rewards that can only be claimed once all of the other sub-achievements have been completed. And this just goes to show how versatile the achievement system is. If your game has any form of persistent player progression that needs tracking, and if you wish to add rewards or daily resets, then the achievement system is for you. I think now's a good time to dive into the code and have a look at how you implement this from the client side. So I'm going to exit full screen mode and stop running the project. I'm going to head over to the scripts folder and open up the achievement coordinator script. So here we are inside of the script. Now this is the Hiro coordinator. This is the entry point of the application. And you'll see here at the top that we define some credentials. So these are the credentials that we're using to connect to our live server that we deployed over on Heroic Cloud. This is how, when you hit play in the project, that it immediately connects to the backend and loads the progress from your user account. And if you want to learn how to run your own server locally, then you can check out the links below that will take you over to our documentation. As for what the script actually does, it handles the user authentication. So we set up the client for Hiro. We then register any systems that we need for this project. So we need the achievement system over here, obviously. And then we also need the economy and inventory system, since our achievements can reward currency and they can also reward items. And if we scroll down just a little further, you'll see here we have the Nakama authorizer function. This is where we handle authorizing the player. And for these projects, we just use device authentication, which allows us to simply hit play and just log in. And we also set this up with the account switcher, so the player can, in the editor, quickly switch between a few different accounts for testing purposes. If we go down right to the bottom of the script, we have some callbacks that happens automatically by the Hiro coordinator for when we successfully initialize or when we fail. And if we're successful, we then invoke an event letting the rest of our game, so our user interface for example, we let it know that we're ready to display everything. And then the main other script in this project that I want to bring attention to is the achievements controller. So this is where the logic exists for interacting directly with Hiro. Of course, by downloading the project yourself from GitHub, you can go through and look at all of these scripts for how we bind everything to the user interface. But in here, if we scroll down, you can see we've made these sections and we can open up achievement selection, for example. So this is what happens when we click the various buttons in the UI and we click on the different achievements. This is how we select them and then how we load them. And if we keep going down further, we have achievement operations. So you can see here, these are the calls we'll be making. So anything that is to the achievement system, this is interacting with Hiro directly. So here when we call refresh async, it will load from the server all of the achievements relevant to the player, and then we can get locally all the achievements and then all of the repeat achievements separately. So those daily achievements that keep coming back, we can get those as a separate list over here. If we keep going down further, keep going, you'll see here we can filter the achievements. This is how we have filtered between the different tabs in the UI to separate them out. Get reset time is how we display on the UI for the daily tab how long it is left until those achievements reset. And then finally, if we open up the achievement actions section, this is where we can handle updating the achievement's progress directly. All you really need to do is know which achievement you want to progress and how much you want to progress by, which is all driven by the UI. And then you'll be calling achievement system.update achievement async. And the updates are defined here in a dictionary, which allows you to do multiple updates in a single call to save on bandwidth. And if we keep going a little further, you'll see down here, we have the ability to claim the achievement rewards. So when an achievement has been completed and it can be claimed, all you then need to do is call achievementsystem.claimAchievementsAsync, and you need to pass in the achievement IDs you wish to claim. Again, you can pass in multiple if you have a batch of them that you want to claim all in one go. As for the actual items and rewards that you get from completing the achievement, that's all handled for you automatically by Hiro. You don't need to actually do anything else here other than maybe refreshing the system so that the UI updates. And that's about it for the code. It's very simple from the client side to actually interact with Hiro. Everything else is handled by the backend for you or is handled via configuration. So before we wrap up here, we'll go have a quick look at the configuration. So back over on GitHub, if we go into the Nakama plus Hiro folder and go look in definitions and base achievements, this is how we've set up the whole project. So I encourage you to go and have a look at this file so you can see how we've configured everything. But as you can see here, we have the achievements, and here is one of those achievements, the Master Explorer achievement. You can define the category, which is used for filtering. You can define how much the max is for how much you need to progress to get the rewards. And then we define here the rewards themselves. So when you claim this achievement, you are guaranteed to get 1,000 coins and 50 gems. You're also guaranteed to get 2 golden keys and 5 mana potions, which are items which are defined separately from currencies. And if we scroll down a bit further, this is one of those achievements that has sub-achievements. So you can see here where the sub-achievements are defined, and they have their own names, descriptions, categories, counts, and rewards. And if we were to scroll down all the way to the bottom, you'll see down here we have the daily combat achievement. And something you'll notice here is we have this reset cron expression. So this is where you can define, using a standard format, how often the achievement resets. So like I say, you can do every minute, every day, every hour, every week. It's up to you. And those are the main callouts for the configuration. But like I said earlier, I encourage you to go have a look through the file yourself if you're curious about how we set up any of the achievements. Hiro Achievements gives you a full milestone tracking and reward pipeline right out of the box. Design the moments players remember without worrying about the infrastructure underneath. With Hiro, you get battle-tested systems that handle the hardest parts of metagame design, freeing up your team to focus on the thing they care the most about, finding fun. Try the sample project yourself by downloading it from GitHub. We've included the links below. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you around.